Hello. Saturn, the planet Saturn, moved into the sign of Scorpio earlier this month, bringing about a change in the energetic signature that affects all of us. Saturn was formerly thought of as the last planet in the solar system before the discovery of Uranus and Neptune, and as such, it represents limitations, time being the biggest limitation that all of us face. Saturn's movement through the astrological signs shows, and how it affects all of us, shows us where we need to put time and attention, where we need to pay attention, where there are lessons to be learned, where we may be experiencing restriction or difficulty, and where we have something to learn, where we have to put attention. It has moved out of the sign of Libra, where we had to put attention into relationships, and now into the sign of Scorpio, which is a little bit more difficult to categorize. But Scorpio has to do with intensity, with transformation, with death or the awareness of death. And most of all, it has to do with looking beneath the surface at those things that may make us feel afraid or ashamed, whatever we would like to avoid, whatever we tend to hide. Scorpio requires that we look at that and dive down deeper in order to get to a more profound sense of truth. Hence the meaning of transformation. By looking at that which we're afraid, we transform into something bigger, something more profound. Saturn is making a very powerful positive aspect. So generally speaking, this should be a good time. But as you can tell by what it is that Scorpio represents, buttons are pushed. So it's not just a straightforward, easy, good time for any of us, in spite of the positive aspects that it makes. The positive aspects are primarily to Neptune in the sign of Pisces. So this encourages us, and even perhaps requires us, to look for the spiritual significance of whatever painful or difficult or unpleasant things we may be going through. Just as Shiva, the Hindu incarnation of the divine in the form of the destroyer, the ultimate Scorpio-like representation of the divine, just as he drank the poison that threatened to kill, that threatened to destroy all of the worlds, he willingly drank the poison, permanently staining his throat blue, and transformed that poison into Amrita, the nectar of eternal life. So right now we are called upon to drink the poison of our own sense of failure, disappointment, anger, frustration, fear, or whatever difficulties we may find ourselves facing. And through spiritual practice, through selfless service, through whatever actions we can take that go bigger than ourselves, which can include art as well, to transform our pain into something transcendent. Those who have come back from near-death experiences, another appropriate Scorpio-like metaphor or experience, often even those who don't believe in God or didn't believe in God before speak of becoming aware of an infinitely loving divine force that is endlessly supportive and truly deeply loving, and of the message that you can make no mistakes. You are loved. You are completely loved. It is reminiscent of the image from some spiritual teachings that as we come into incarnation, we forget our true nature and become identified with this body-mind entity that we are, when in truth we are like a child, safe, beloved, secure, sitting on its mother's lap, perfectly and completely safe. And the mother is telling us a bedtime story, and so gifted a storyteller is she that we forget that we're just a child sitting safe and protected on her lap, and we become identified with the characters in the story and their struggles, their triumphs, their pain. And the purpose of spiritual practice is to remind us that really, truly, we are always safe, secure, and beloved, and not to get so lost in the story that we forget our true nature. The image of a child sitting on his mother's lap is particularly appropriate now, as we're at the beginning of Navaratri, the 9 days devoted to the goddess in all her forms. So may we all, calling upon whatever spiritual tradition you find most effective, most helpful, May we all connect to that sense of our true self, even as we go through whatever trials or struggles or difficulties face us. Good luck in the next few weeks, and I'll talk to you soon.